What's up, guys? Back with another episode. It's episode 10, and today we have a very special guest. Please welcome Michael B. Jordan! But welcome back to another episode. It's going to be a good one. Finally, episode 10. We've been messing it up on the socials, but it's here. So we've been at this for a little while, so please share your support, and let's get right into the pod.
All right, guys, we are back at it. Now, this one, I think maybe we got a little ahead of ourselves when we were doing the numerology episodes, the numerology, where we forgot to add the one and carry the two. We're on episode 10 now.
Now we're on
episode. I think because we were talking about time travel, and maybe we were thinking future.
We're always
10.
thinking ahead.
It had to have been, right?
Right. There's obviously a rational reason for our madness. So, anyways, guys, we're on episode 10, and if you haven't noticed, we got someone special on the pod today. Michael B. Jordan. Give it up for Michael B. Jordan. He's no, that's not. We didn't.
That's not
No, that I don't
You didn't get it.
Wait.
I thought you got him.
I mean, I thought we were.
Well, you know what? That's all right. We got the next best thing. We got Don from the man behind the cam. Let's give it up for Don. Let's go, Don.
Yeah.
Man, Don, what's it feel like? First of all, just to be on this side of the camera.
A little nerve-wracking, but it feels good.
Yeah.
Nerve-wracking, but feels good.
Dude, I mean, it's been a long time coming, even in the vlogs and stuff like that. He's in a little bit of the Fit Expo vlog. We kind of put him in there, but it's time to show the people who the man behind the cam is.
Let him out his cage every once in a while.
Yeah.
Exactly, because it's more than just push and record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man edits. He does so much for us. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Don, so when I first met you, you were actually just doing some editing stuff with Ethan, and we were kind of talking about maybe doing some music footage editing, and then that led to meeting you, and then this kind of whole pod thing kind of just took off. So, and we'll put links to your descriptions and everything for all the work that you do, but you primarily work in the automotive line of like filming things and editing like shorts for people, right?
Yeah, so recently I just got a new gig out in Huntington Beach filming supercars.
Nice.
And yeah, so I'm kind of stoked for that one because that's something I've been pushing forward.
All right.
So
Yep.
Man, so Don is just the man that's just been doing the stuff behind the cam, editing, staying busy with the car stuff. And yeah, man, we gotta get him on the show, so we had to do it. And today was definitely the episode.
Get some more of his input.
That's right, man. We definitely got a lot to talk about. But one of the first things that we want to discuss that we've kind of gone on some tangents, talked about a lot of different things, a lot of random stuff. But you know what? It's what the people like.
Yeah.
Right. But
Exactly.
one of the things that I think that we've always kind of talked about, and it was actually one of the first episode ideas that we kind of, one of amongst many, but one of the first ideas we really just kind of hashed out was the where do we start? How do we get started, right? How do we get started in the journey, in the fitness journey? What was it? And I don't know, who wants to go first? Just kind of break down what got him into it. And why? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, I guess. So,
all right, go ahead, Ethan.
So, I'll start it off. Name's Xander, by the way. But,
You can check out the links.
So, pretty much what got me into fitness was just like the fact that I was so skinny my entire life. You know, I'm still not exactly where I want to be at. But after high school, you know, as me and Ethan have mentioned before, we were always wrestlers. So I was in the 113 weight pound division up until my senior year. And then after I graduated and, you know, COVID hit, I kind of had nothing else to do. But my dad always worked out. He always wanted me to get into it. And we had a little home gym set up at the time. So started working out just here and there. And eventually I went away for a summer for a little bit. And then I came back. You guys were in the gym. So I started hitting it with y'all. And then just like that whole little community or our friendship that, you know, we kind of built off the gym and everything. So that's where we started. And now I'm just focused on the bulk, you know. I started 115, currently 164. So, yeah, big progress. I eventually, you know, want to be 170 lean, but that's going to take a while because I don't know, if y'all have ever been the skinny guy and, like, you know, for us, it's so hard to eat, man. Like, it's a struggle. Like, I'll share a quick story of how, you know, how hard I was bulking a month ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I know what you're about to say.
So, I was bulking, right? And I was eating ground beef and rice like a few times a day, right? And I was force feeding myself at this point because I was like, oh, God damn it, I got to get these calories in. So I was eating, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't eat anymore. But I still have half a plate left. So what I do, I just chew it up, and then I swallow once it's all just mush in my mouth.
Yeah.
And then I tried doing that with this next bite, and I started like gagging. I'm like trying to put it down.
Okay.
And then I'm like, I take my sip of water, I spit it out. I was like, my dad was like, "Are you good?" I'm like, yeah, I'm good. 1 second. I go outside, just get some fresh air. I'm thinking, all right, I do this like whenever I'm about to throw up. I just go outside, take a breather. But it was not gonna go. It was not gonna fly this time. Took a deep breath in. Yacked it.
Sure.
Yeah, 4 times I yacked it in the backyard.
So all that food in the bowl.
All them gains.
All the calories.
All them calorie gains,
Gone,
bro.
Yeah. I mean,
Man.
to be fair, I went back for the plate and finished what I had, but
That's crazy.
Ain't gonna put me down.
yeah, exactly.
There you go, man.
Put me down.
And one thing, if I may say, that I have noticed, and I think you even spoke about it yourself a little bit, is just your confidence with speaking and your presence in front of the camera and stuff like that, and just your comfortability. Not only are you getting gains from, hitting the gym and, putting in the dedication there, but you're also gaining a few different things outside of that, right?
Yeah.
Which you never really know what can happen once you start actually getting into the gym. Whether that is now look at you a lot more confident in areas that you may have been a little bit insecure in.
Definitely.
And for somebody else, it could be just making connections. You never know. You may be a young entrepreneur trying to, just hustle and do a different, lifestyle, trying to be, your own boss. You got to make those connections. Sometimes the gym is a really good place to do that because there's a lot of motivated people there.
Exactly. Yeah. It was, because before, when we first started this pod, I mentioned it before, but I was really nervous because you guys are both really good speakers, and I was like, man, I'm just going to be like the George Janko of the pod, left on the side, just not speaking.
Hey,
Shout out George, because he's doing great things now.
doing all right.
Look what happened now.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just...
what does that mean? You're going to leave and...
Start your own thing?
Start my own thing. Y'all don't do me dirty then. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so it's been great. So yeah, shout out to the gym owner. Like I would not be able to start building up this confidence if they didn't give us this opportunity to even film here. So
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
It's been a crazy blessing for sure. That's something I never thought I would ever do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about you, man? I mean, you've definitely started from just wrestling with what that's both of your guys' background, getting into the gym, doing your thing. But I mean, look at all that you've accomplished with what you've wanted to do, and it all just kind of started out with just a few ideas. So other than just this, you want to break down obviously your journey, but Ethan Heath lifts that idea, what you want to do with it, possibly in the future. Break it down, unpack it.
Yeah, I'll make it semi sweet and quick.
You can make it sour and long.
Sour and long. Like Xander said, just it kind of stemmed from being in a athletic background, and wrestling is just a grueling sport, and I don't think I've found anything in life that was harder than wrestling, to be honest.
Yes.
But there's things that are there's things that are close to it. But I think that Xander initially got me into the gym. I think. Just because you had mentioned, hey, you want to go to the gym, and that just became our outlet.
I think when it started, I would like post a couple stories here and there, just me at my home gym.
Yeah,
and you guys started to notice.
Yeah, we're like, hey, let's go to the gym and stuff like that. So that started, and I kind of just honestly fell in love with it. I fell in love with the progress and the process, and it didn't. It took a long time to see results physically for me. I see myself every day, right? Mm-hmm. But once I started seeing the progress, it's like, dang, like this is definitely possible. I definitely want to share this with people, that they shouldn't be expecting things overnight or even in a week or even in a month. Shit, sometimes even in a year. You don't see staggering results unless you have a lot to lose, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, especially with my build, I wasn't really, really big and stuff like that. And the more you have to lose, right? So I think once I started getting the vascularity and started getting the muscle definition, I was like, shit, dude, like this is definitely possible. It took me a long time, though. It took me like 6 months to start seeing that. That's like 5 days a week. So I just kind of wanted to share my journey with everyone. And then Donald over here, right? This is like a cool topic to kind of get him involved. Is Donald was doing photography at the time, right? You weren't doing any recording. You were just mainly photography.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have mutual friends that do filming for race car or supercars, and it's cool that because Don goes with them all the time. He's starting to get his own little side venture with that. It's pretty good. Good job, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shouts out.
We were just in our mutual friend's garage one time, and he's like, "Oh, I want to start building a portfolio." And I was like, "Well, like I want to start sharing this fitness journey with people. Like, if I buy a camera, would you be down to film?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be down to film." And it kind of just took off from there. We started vlogging, and we started doing all this stuff. And honestly, I haven't turned back since. And I wouldn't have changed anything. Despite all the bull crap that we all have had to go through, because it's got us here today.
Sure.
And we are in a very, very blessed position right now. Like, we are very privileged, I think, to have a gym owner that is so forthcoming and open to this idea of having a podcast in his facility.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a great idea, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when he hit us up on it, I was
Did I kind of hit all the points there?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then just lastly, where are you trying to take the fitness journey? Do you see yourself continuing to do the videos and the vlog styles?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself branching out into like trying to look to do like merchandise, or getting to a point where you may even become like a physical or personal trainer, and then kind of documenting that? Or is it just, hey man, whatever's going to happen is going to happen? And
it's a little mix of both. I think that because I'm seeking a medical profession, right, a physician assistant. I think it would be cool because I could be a physician assistant for a sports team, right, and be like a something with physical therapy or anything like that. Just staying around the athletic realm or whatever, or even orthopedics. A lot of people who go to the gym and a lot of athletic dudes work in orthopedics. I've heard it maybe 10 times already. So something that just keeps revolving. I definitely want to keep doing content and videos just to see what happens, and even if it doesn't. I don't even have this in my mind, but just for the people who are watching, even if it doesn't go anywhere that I would want it to go, it'd be cool because we talk about all these YouTubers who look at this section of their life and see like, dang, like I grew. So it's just memories that me and Xander will be able to have forever, and Don, right? Don recorded all this stuff, so we can always look back and be like, hey, do you remember when we filmed this video? Do you remember all the bloopers, dude? Oh my gosh, I was dying when you said this. It's we're very grateful and very blessed for it. Not a lot of people have this opportunity.
Yeah,
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And
good point.
Sorry, I wanted to
Yeah.
Don's. Your fitness journey has kind of been up and down, huh?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
So it started probably around, I want to say like first grade with basketball. And then I got to around third grade and started playing football. And around, I want to say like summertime going into fourth grade, I really got into it and started training like every day after school. And by the time I got to middle school, I was going and training at like, 5, 6 in the morning, going to school, and then right after school, going to train, going home, doing homework, eating dinner, going to bed, and doing it all over again. Yeah.
God damn.
All the way up until high school. And then I ended up getting hurt in high school playing football. And after that, I was just kind of like, I'm done. Like, I want to go make money. So then I kind of stepped away from that until I met you guys, and then you guys kind of pushed me back into the fitness world a little bit.
Yeah, because you're still active, dude. You work a full-time job. You're doing all these side ventures, and then you still have time to come to the gym whenever you have the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
You're working long shifts.
Oh, yeah.
I commend you.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not like you're here anyways. It's like you travel to go do your stuff, so it's not like you can come here and get a lift.
Yeah.
And your job is grueling, bro. It's working out in itself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess speaking about jobs, something happened at mine today
oh
that
my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I told these two, but Phil has yet to hear it.
Nice.
So, I am in the medical field as well as Ethan,
Mm-hmm.
and where I won't get too much into the details, but I'm stationed at a certain location, right? We got a lot of people coming in and out all day. Just some background for you guys.
Yeah.
So, pretty much, we were, me and a couple of my partners was just walking around, trying to find something to do. and we get a call saying that some dude is like, someone needs help. So we're like, all right. So me and the other med unit, we show up, and this guy, he looks like pretty lethargic, kind of out of it, saying, "Oh, sugar, I need sugar," and it sounds like he only speaks Spanish. So, my Spanish ain't the best, but I can communicate pretty decently. So I'm like, all right. So we get him. We order like a little hot chocolate for him to sip on, some sugary drink, and then I go get the, what's it called? I'm blanking. Go get the thing to test his blood sugar. I can't remember the name.
Oh,
but,
like glucose?
Oh, yeah, glucometer. So I go get the glucometer,
okay.
and
now it's serious.
Now it's serious.
Glucometer? All right.
So
you're getting that machinery out. Okay, you prepping for surgery.
Exactly. So I go get it, and then on my way back, I see he just like collapses, and then luckily my supervisor and my the other med, they catch him. I'm like, oh dang, like he going down now. Like it was not this bad when I left. So we're like, all right, and try to get him to sit down. He's like standing up. He's not listening. So we're like, all right, come on, sir, just like please sit down so we can help you out.
Por favor.
Yeah, por favor.
Yeah,
exactly. And then he's like, restroom, need to use restroom, right? So we're like, oh damn. And at this point, I can smell it a little bit. I'm like, okay. Yeah, he's like...
He crop dusting.
Yeah, he crop dusting, right? And then we're like, all right, sir, the restroom's right there. You don't seem like you can walk. Let's just put you in the wheelchair and we'll take you over there. And then we finally gets in the wheelchair. We start rolling him out, and that's when I get a whiff. I'm like... I was like... I start gagging, right? And then my partner's looking at me like, you good? I'm like... One second.
Yeah. What part of any of this looks good?
Yeah, exactly.
The question
it don't look good. It don't smell good.
Right?
It don't feel good.
Okay. Couple life decisions.
For real. So I'm like, we take him to the restroom, and he does not make it to the toilet, unfortunately, and he shits everywhere. So, he shits everywhere. And then I'm speaking to him in English. And real quick, first of all, so some people might be like, oh, why are you spreading this information? He turns out to be a very horrible person, so I don't feel bad for this.
Right.
Well, and we're not saying first and last name. We're not breaking HIPAA, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so
you could say this patient.
Yeah.
This person, this individual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He shits everywhere. And then...
That's it, shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, damn. All right. And I'm trying to ask him these questions to make sure, like, where his head is at. Because after he, like, he's still in the stall, ask him these questions in Spanish, of course, because I'm thinking he don't speak English.
Yeah.
And he, he's like, starts cussing out of nowhere. Fuck, shit, like, shit all over myself. I'm like,
yeah, you did. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. He's like, you guys put me in the worst bathroom. I'm like, well, like, you trying to blame the bathroom now? Like, it's just a toilet. And I'm like, well, you can try one of the other stalls, sir. And then he's like, all right, comes out, pants gone, and shit all over in the stall. I'm like, I had to take a step out, to get some fresh air real quick. I'm like, all right, come back in. At this point, paramedics are on scene, so they kind of take over, and speaking perfect English now. Out of nowhere. So we're like, huh? When did that, like? Why was I not able to speak to you like that, right? So I'm like, okay. And then while he's like cleaning himself up before they can do the assessment on him, he says, oh man, I was saying something they were saying I was saying something to the employees. Like, no, I would never say that. If I wanted to, I'd take advantage of the girl sleeping in my room. I'm like, what? We're all looking at each other like, what the hell did you just say?
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, we did not, like, I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah.
We didn't even ask about that. Completely unprovoked. So we're like,
It's probably
okay.
that fucked up.
Yeah. So then he finally comes out. They do the assessment. First of all, remember how I said his blood sugar was low?
Yeah.
Turns out it was pretty elevated. So we're like, I'm like, huh, a lot of things are not adding up right now.
You, sir, are an enigma.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, all right, they decide, like, hey, he's good. You guys can just, like, take him up to his room or whatever. So, like, all right, so we get him up, and then as soon as, of course, they leave, he starts, like, oh, not enough. I need sugar. I'm like, all right, well, we can get them back here if you want to go to the hospital. He's like, no, I'm good.
He was trying to get another hot chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. So we get in there finally, take him to his room. He's like, there was a girl sleeping in his room, I guess his female friend, and like, all right, just like make sure, like take care of him, watch him in the shower, so make sure he doesn't fall. So yeah, that was that. And then I go talk to my supervisor after, you know, just like get a little rundown and everything. He's like, yeah, so that guy told one of the employees that what you call that?
Just say it, man.
Yeah. He's like, so when was the last time you've been R-worded? Because if it's been a while, I'll do it myself. And I'm like, so now that makes sense why he said that in the bathroom earlier. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, bro.
So, yeah, they gotta find this guy.
Take
Take him off the streets.
He's on the loose. Lock your doors.
Yeah.
Hide your wife and your kids.
Yeah.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow. This is crazy, man.
That's just one night, man.
That's one night.
Yeah.
That is wild, man. You deal with a lot. It's kind of like that one story. It's like on Netflix, and me and my wife just watched it last night. Like some couple that got like kidnapped. The lady got kidnapped, and the husband was like, or the boyfriend was like duct taped, and there was like ransom notes, and the lady was gone for like 4 or 5 days, and then left a message that she was alive, and they came back, and that no one believed her, and so the cops were like trying to actually blame her and say that they set it up, and it was like all 100% legit. It's crazy, man. And that was in the span of like 5 days or something like that. So yeah, man, crazy things can happen in a short amount of time. I guess is my point. But
it's pretty nuts.
And what's extra wild, I think that's the second story you've told about Dookie.
I think it is.
The past couple episodes, we're talking about Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Man.
We're on a streak, I guess.
Oh my
On
God.
a streak?
Right?
No, I don't know.
What's next?
Fecal matter needs to be a subject in this
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly.
Put it in the chat. If you
Put
want
it in
more
the
poo
chat.
talk.
Yeah, more
Poo talk, y'all. Y'all know what's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We had Taco Bell last night. No.
That'd be funny.
It
If
was
there was like a
crazy.
banner and it just looks like fudge all over the screen and then just shoots up.
Not just
Poo talk.
Just a
Oh,
little
God.
Back,
emoji.
episode
I can
51.
I can visibly like imagine what you're like. Gosh,
Pretty
man.
bad. Pretty bad.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it was a funny story.
I felt like that was needed. You said what else did you say we had for today, man?
All right.
Well,
We can
Xander had a couple of things.
Yeah.
So we can honestly just get right into that.
All right. So the next topic I got for y'all. So y'all know how pretty much on social media, like all you see is these gender wars now, talking about like how men suck, not women suck. Men are all cheaters, not women are all cheaters. You know what I'm saying?
We all suck.
Yeah.
Women are hoes.
Yeah, exactly. So I recently saw this TikTok that kind of brought me to like want to talk about this topic, and it was about this divorced lady. She was recently divorced and saying, "My biggest advice I could give to young women is never get married." And
Whoa.
I'm thinking, yeah, and I'm thinking, damn, that's a little rough.
It's a little bleak.
Yeah, exactly. The comments can't agree with that, right? I just see comment after comment, thousands of likes each of just a
Amen,
bunch.
sister.
Yeah, just a bunch of women saying like, agreed. The only like men will just suck the life out of you, take the best years of your life, and then leave you out to dry.
Frickin' way,
And
dude.
That's
all they
crazy.
do is like take your money, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking,
wait.
yeah, okay, yeah, I know. So it's just a bunch of comments like that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, that's pretty unrealistic because men can also say the exact same thing about women.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking like, but men do also say the exact same thing about women. So it's like, I was just thinking about like, why do people like try to put our gender above like female over male, male over female, like saying one is better, but we need each other, Men are better at certain things, women are better at certain things.
Absolutely.
And we just it works like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is no better. We're just different.
100%. And one thing that really grinds my gears.
Yeah, what grinds your gears, pal?
Grind 'em.
One thing that really just upsets me, or kind of just shows, I don't even know if the right word is ignorance, but they say that men are useless. Men are useless, and the world would be such a greater place without men. Okay, so what do you think the percentage of men works with, like sewers, plumbing, works on the ships? How was that bridge built over there? How were cars created?
Infrastructure.
You know what I mean?
Right,
and
the day-to-day.
I mean, I guess if men never existed, well, first of all, you need men to repopulate. As you do women.
Science is making big jumps, man.
Okay. As
Thanks to men.
Thanks
to all the male scientists.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think that there's a misconception. I mean, we are both of value.
Yes.
Both men and women, or men and women are both of value. We both have innate qualities that are complementary to one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand the controversial stuff, and that's one thing that I just stay on my 2 feet, bro. And if you want to disagree with me. That is totally fine. I don't really care about opinions or feelings when it comes to that type of stuff. I care about actual facts. What was done in a lab? Is there an actual statistic analysis? Was there an actual experiment done? Because that's fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't argue about the law of gravity.
Well, actually,
so what is?
Some people do.
Oh Jesus! I guess so.
We have
you know what?
first-hand experience of arguing about something.
I know,
gravity.
and flat earthers. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, it doesn't all that make sense. We don't want to get like too deep down the rabbit hole, but that's one thing that kind of just confuses and kind of frustrates me. We don't say that women are useless. They can do things that men could never do. They bear a child. They give birth, right? They are natural nurturers. Men cannot nurture the same as women can nurture. That's just a fact.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. I can't do what
Yeah.
I can't do what a mother could do.
I would disagree on you the fact that there's not men that say like, oh, women can't do this or women are useless, because there are a lot of incels that just like completely hate women.
No,
Oh, yeah.
100%. Did I say that?
You said like men don't say.
Okay, well if I did,
Unless you
let
meant,
me
like,
me
we.
clear. No, yeah, we.
Okay.
Well, we're probably a what's it called? Outlier. We're probably an outlier or part of that percentage or whatever. There are definitely men who are women haters, and there are definitely women who are men haters.
Yeah.
But that's just, I guess, goes back to free will and thinking whatever you want to think. We're not, in, this is a capitalistic country. We're not in communist Russia.
Or
You know what I
China.
mean?
With China.
Or China. China.
Sometimes I just miss how he said China.
Yeah. What do you
What you
think,
think,
Don? I'm
Don?
gonna check the lighting real quick.
Man,
Check the line real quick.
I don't know, bro.
I know you see it though, right? Like, are you one of the
for
people
sure.
that's just like, because there are people out there that look at it and look at the drama and be like, man, no, that's not for me. Are you one of them swipe away when you start to see them kind of conversations?
I just don't care.
You're like,
for it.
nah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's fair. I should probably start doing that too, but sometimes I'm just like.
Sometimes
so
you get
baffled.
hooked.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sometimes the audacious responses of these people.
Yeah, they're just like mind-boggling.
You're like, you don't really think that, do you?
Yeah.
And then like the other people on the panel be like, yeah, that's right. They'd be like, oh my gosh, there's more.
Yeah,
people all think that way.
it's not just one of you.
Yeah,
Like,
man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like I was saying, men and women both cheat, and we got someone right here who is in a very long and healthy relationship. So you want to give some tips for us youngins, man? How do you build that relationship
It's
and
crazy.
keep that foundation?
Yeah, crazy, man. So just to kind of touch on like what you guys were talking about, that kind of culture, I do feel that there is a divide. There is a power that is out there that is almost kind of whispering in the dude's ears and in the girl's ears to just kind of further divide. Like, they're doing this and you're doing this. And it's like, we're so focused on like saying, oh yeah, you did, without looking behind and saying, who's whispering that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of looking at where the source is coming from. And so I think there is, a push to kind of isolate the genders.
100%.
For me, it all goes down to the roles. And I ain't talking about, the Hawaiian ones, which are delicious. But I'm talking,
I love me some
you know what
Hawaiian
I'm saying?
rolls.
Throw them in the oven real quick. Thanksgiving's not the same without them.
Wait, and real quick before you
Yeah.
continue, just really quick.
Yeah.
Just so that people know, how long have you been in this relationship?
So
Where's your credibility?
So I have been married for 16 years.
Okay.
and in the relationship for like 17 and some change.
Okay.
Or 18 and some change, something like that. It's we tight.
Yeah.
We locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah. We got double digits in the marriage, y'all.
Yeah.
So your roles are what's key. Understanding what your roles are. I think back to the time when we had one cell phone between us.
Wow.
Me and my wife had one cell phone between us. We had no internet. We had no cable, no satellite, none of that. We were watching straight DVDs and stuff like that. And I was the only one working. But at the time, my son, who was just born, needed someone at home. And we didn't want to waste our money with daycare and having someone else raise our son. So it was important, like, no, you stay home and I'll just take care of what we need to take care of. And, your role, hun, is to take care of my son and to stretch this money as far as we can get it. So if that means that we're buying all of our snacks at the 99-cent store, we're going to go to the 99-cent store. If that means we're getting all of our produce at Cárdenas, we're going to go load up the cart at Cárdenas. If that means we're clipping coupons to save at Albertsons, we're clipping them coupons.
Yeah.
So we did what we had to do to stretch a buck, and we were never without. We always made it. And if there was some odds and ends that needed to be filled in, financially, that was my job. I had to go out and hustle and go get that money. And my wife understood, okay, he's going to take care of it. I just have to address the concern. He's going to take care of it. So understanding our roles, I think that there is this huge dismissal of the importance of the roles for the genders. Women's roles and men's roles, they're different. And it's like looking at your hands and going, the left one is better than the right one, or the right one is better than the left one. It's like they're almost identical, but they have two different functions. And it's so much harder to do it on your own with one. Ask any, person that is missing a limb how much harder it is. Yeah, you can get a prosthetic, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they're complete polar, replicas of each other, but they're complete opposites of each other.
Yeah.
So you need them to function, right? You got to have two pedals on the bike to make it go. One's going to be doing a complete opposite of what the other one is doing, but they work in unison. So instead of fighting against each other and going, well, you do this and you do that, we're great at pointing out each other's flaws. I think what would be a great podcast would to just be talking about, the things that we lack and why we appreciate the things that our mates or our partners do for us.
That would actually be a really, really interesting podcast.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to be able to be like, my wife doesn't do that. Here's why my wife is amazing, and here's why she holds it down. Because of X, Y, and Z. She checks me when she needs to, but she doesn't do it in public because she knows that's going to be embarrassing to me and demean my value and make me look less of a man. But she's going to pull me aside, and she's not going to let me slip because she always wants me to be better, and you need someone that's going to challenge you to be better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how do you do that in a respectful manner, right? You got to know your partner.
Yeah.
She knows me. You know what I'm saying? So another thing is also knowing your partner. You got to know what makes them tick. Sometimes, not right now means, man, I don't want to push the button. I'm going to let you do you. We'll talk about it later. Sometimes, as a husband, you need to know this not right now means you've been pushing this long enough. We need to discuss this. I can see the pain in your eyes. I can hear it in your voice. And in that moment, the tears come, and it's like, I knew it. I knew you needed to talk about it. I knew you needed me, and I'm here for you.
Yeah.
What is it? And you're able to understand what that other person needs before they know what they need.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to develop that.
I know.
right?
I was gonna ask, how long or what did you do to develop that? Was it just
a humiliation, man? You just really not ridicule, but you got to humiliate or humble yourself. I apologize. You have to humble yourself. Meaning, if someone is making a good point, if my wife is making a good point during an argument, going, "Damn, I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right." And sometimes I've done it so quickly, she thinks I'm being sarcastic. That was one of the things, in the past, we would kind of argue about. I'd be like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I didn't think about that. You're right.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, what are you, being sarcastic? And I'm like, no, 100%. I literally did not think of that point. And me saying that and you being mentally at that place, I understand why you would be upset. You're 100% correct. I'm sorry. Don't be afraid to apologize.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things. Everybody, don't be afraid to apologize. If you made a mistake, apologize for it. Own up to it. And be like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Letting somebody know, getting that gratification, and it's all about respect.
Yeah.
If you respect
100%.
that person, why wouldn't you humble yourself to them? I respect you enough to
100%.
humble myself to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like a little bit of humility, a little bit of understanding, what it is that your partner needs, and
does vulnerability ever tie a role into that as well?
Absolutely,
being vulnerable with
man.
your partner.
Absolutely. I think if you take the step to say, for instance, we've had some discussions about this. My wife has definitely had her ups and downs in her battle of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I commend her because she's come so far, and she's, not on any medication, and she's done a lot of work to really reach out to me and
Shout
other
out
people.
Miss Castro.
That's, what I mean? An amazing
Shout out
woman.
Miss Castro.
And so, a lot of times I find, that she'll kind of just be in her own head thinking about stuff, and I'll just kind of patiently be waiting, and then, sometimes it's nothing, and other times she'll come up and be like, hey, I'm feeling something, like I'm feeling anxious. I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like this and this and this. So great, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. And so that being able to come to your partner and saying, I have a weakness right now, and I can't handle it on my own. Will you please help me? That takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot when you're really, really upset and you go into your separate corners, still upset, to think, oh man, she was right. I didn't see it in that moment.
Yeah.
Dang, she was right. And then have to go from the garage to the hallway, through the kitchen, through the back hallway, to knock on that door, open it up, to see your wife in tears and be like, I am so sorry.
Damn.
I didn't see that until just now being by myself.
Yeah.
And I fully see what you're saying. And I am sorry for my behavior. That was just, you're not my enemy. Like, I've said that to my wife so many times. I am not your enemy. I am your advocate. And I lost sight of that. So that takes, you're walking a long way to get down. It's not like I have a big house or nothing like that, but it's like, man, it's loud. She's preparing, like, oh, he's coming out the garage.
Yeah.
Oh, he's walking down the hall. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What you want? To face that, so it takes a lot. So yes, you have to be willing to be vulnerable.
And talking about that, because this might be a little personal, but has your wife ever seen you cry?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not a boo-hooer, where I'm just uncontrollable. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 times where my wife has just seen me beside myself. And I don't mind, sharing them. One was when I got a phone call that my grandfather had passed away, and it just instantly just hit me because he was one of the greatest men that I've ever known to walk this earth besides Jesus. But just knowing, I didn't know Jesus, but knowing my grandfather, I definitely saw that, that Holy Spirit in him that you see when there's people that are just anointed to be good men of their family and good men of God. So I got a chance to catch some of that wind, and it was amazing. So hearing the loss of that. And I remember the first person that I looked up at was my wife, and just going, and just taking that deep breath, and it just poured out of me, and she instantly ran to me, just grabbed onto my hand. And so, yes, that was intense there. That was a pretty crazy moment. And then getting some paperwork from the state about having my ex move and having my daughter move to a completely different county, and it was already done. It was just notifying me that they're gone.
Damn.
And just going oh my gosh, that just
hits you like a truck.
hit me. And I remember just being beside myself and just, so but she was right there during those moments. And so, I definitely say during appropriate moments, and I'll say this, when I get angry, so angry, I shout in tears. So sometimes that can happen too. And she's heard me, I've had arguments, with pops where they're shouting matches at times. And that anger still kind of flows over into my conversation with my wife. And I'm like, and then I said this and he said that, and that really made me mad. And she's just sitting there as I'm going crazier and crazier. But she understands. She's like, he just needs to just let me know, what's up. And he's at an elevated point. I don't need to get elevated because he's already there. So I'm going to just patiently wait. And her grace and her patience slowly just elevates me to where I need to be. By the time I'm done with the conversation, I'm just like, thank you. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you. You know, so it's great to allow it's scary to think about how vulnerable you need to be to make a relationship great. But when you do fully just dive in and you're 100% vulnerable with that person, it's worth all the heartache in the world, because it's man, I got someone that gets me. And the relief of knowing that this person is ride or die no matter what. I could blurt anything and they're going to be just still in love with you. Like it's an amazing feeling, man.
Yeah, that's
one day, man.
One day, man.
Jeez.
But yeah, thank you for thank you for being so vulnerable with us, because the only reason I asked that last one is because I've seen, you know, a bunch of alpha males, sigma males, you know, self-proclaimed, say like, oh, don't ever let your woman see you cry. She loses respect for you, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, I just wanted to.
And it's situationally.
situational.
Yeah,
I
situationally.
think
Yeah.
situationally,
If you're crying all the time, if you got like a bill and like you're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? Like those types of things, women are gonna just look up to us for leadership.
Yeah.
Like the captain of the ship always has to have an answer. You can't be like, oh man, Captain, there's, you know, holes in the ship and it's, you know, people are jumping off. We don't have enough life rafts. You still got to have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, you tell your first mate, okay, get everybody on, you know, over here. We're going to line up single file. You got to get your life vest ready. Make sure, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even if you're just spouting things, you got to look like you know what's going on.
100%. You got to be the rock.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to.
Exactly.
Like you said, in different situations, the woman can as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
She can assist with all.
If you take a second, 100%. And I saw. This was on Jocko Willink's podcast.
Oh yeah!
Shout out Jocko, you're a madman, bro.
Beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He was being interviewed, and the interviewer said one thing that he heard was choose your partner as someone you would be willing to go to war with, and that doesn't mean like literal war. That means financial war. That means emotional war. And it seems like you guys had your fair share of that with the coupon cutting and the 99-cent store, a whole plan and stuff like that. Like, y'all went to war with life.
Well,
you guys went to,
absolutely.
Well,
here's this for a perspective as well, just to give a little bit more shout out to the gem in the crown that is my wife, and how great she is.
Shout out Miss Castro.
You know what I mean? Man, I can't tell you. She's just an amazing woman.
Yeah.
Picture this: you have an outside entity in the shape of, you know, child support and court cases, because my eldest daughter's from another relationship. Like I said, you know, finding the paperwork that her and her mother and her mom's husband had left to a different county. She is there to support me, but she is completely helpless in a situation that 100% involves her financially, emotionally, right? But she is 100% helpless because it is not her child. It is not her court case. And that money isn't hers either, because she's sitting on the sidelines watching the babies while I'm making all the money.
Yeah.
So she's now waiting with anxiety, someone that suffers with anxiety, to hear what court cases have to say, judges have to say, lawyer fees coming through, plus all the other regular stuff, plus having to deal with a husband who is still young, a young father who doesn't know how to process the emotions of a court case. And we went to court 6 or 7 times, you know, so that was incredibly stressful through the span of 18 years. And she just had to sit there and just take it.
Damn.
Talk about resiliency. Talk about patience. Talk about being firm in her prayer life, where she just has to be like, all I can do is pray about this.
Yeah.
And she had 100% faith in you the entire time, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're at the opposite end of it, where it's like, okay, great, you know, my eldest is, you know, she's now a legal adult, and, you know, we're in a different place that, you know, we were back then. And obviously you're never going to not have your stresses, but
100%.
it's things like that show we can handle whatever is going to be thrown in front of us.
100%.
And you need to have
a marriage like that is very, very strong. You're very strong, stronger than you think sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You think that this is going to break you, and you guys just have each other's back, dude. You have each other's back. And I saw this like a kind of strategy where this woman was like, oh, well, you know, a relationship isn't 50-50, it's 100-100. But you know, if I'm coming home from work and I'm just beat and I just can't, she'll tell her husband like, hey, I have 60 right now, and he's like, you know what? I'll pick up that extra 40. I'm gonna pick up that extra 40, and we're gonna be solid. Yeah. It's gonna be picked up. We got this.
Oh yeah, what I mean? That's it, man.
And
we have a. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. Well, you can finish, because
I was gonna say our motto is we'll make it work.
Yeah,
like we've hustled so much that we it doesn't matter. We'll make it work. If we owe, you know, $20, but we got 10. Hey, we'll make it work. We'll pay what we owe. You know, if we've got to put a little bit on a credit card, and then, you know, God is faithful. He comes through, and then something else happens where it's like, oh, hey, your mom just sent us a check, you know, just out of the blue. Just, hey, here's a little something to help you out. It's like, you know, it's crazy, you know?
Yeah. I was going to say, like, is so crazy because that is what every guy wants, right?
Mm.
And then back to what you're saying is going on between the men and the women.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that, all of that right there, the resiliency, the loyalty, the vulnerability, just everything. That's not being preached to women nowadays.
Mm.
What's being preached to women nowadays is you're strong, you're independent, you don't need a man.
Right.
So when they're being taught these things, I almost feel for them because that's not going to get them anywhere near a stable and healthy relationship.
No.
And if they do, it's probably going to be too late with someone that they would not want to be with in the first place.
Yeah, slim pickings later on.
Oh,
yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, I'm not saying that there aren't good women out there, because there are.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it all goes back to how
I
they're
think
raised.
you should not.
how
Let's
they're-
not single out women here,
No.
like men too.
Men as well, but I was just saying, to your point,
Yeah.
women saying that and
Oh, yeah,
agreeing
yeah,
with
yeah.
each other. There are men like that too, guys. I'm not okay. Watch. Ethan's a woman here.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I'm just looking out for you, pal.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's a whole.
I know.
It's even a movement. It's called MGTOW. Men go their own way.
Yeah.
You know, where it's basically like no women, or I'm only going to use women how I want them, and you know, it's
Yeah, and
entertainment only.
that's equally as fucked up in my opinion.
Yeah.
To be honest, but
yeah, 100%.
But I'm just saying it's crazy because there are women out there that are very, very good women, and it comes back to, you see their parents and how their parents have raised them and stuff like that. You can tell a lot by someone about how their parents are. Well,
Mhm.
you know, that's just how it is. But there are some minorities out there, or minority population. Minority population.
Yeah, you got three sitting right next to you.
A minority population who actually have found their way despite the lack of guidance through life.
Yeah.
And I think that's either through faith or through really close family members or just or friends and all. But
Sure. Well, and it also kind of just goes to like deciding what you want for your life and what you want for your family and what you want for your kids.
Absolutely.
You can decide to be a product of your environment that you grew up in that may or may not have been, you know, positive. And you can let that become, you know, something that is a crutch where you're just limping your life and relying on this and saying, oh, well, look, I had this horrible past, which some people can't get past it. I get it. And it wasn't like I had like a horrible past or anything like that, you know. You know, some strict parenting, you know, on
Mexican,
the extreme end of that strict kind of parenting.
Yeah.
But, you know, my wife and I, Tina, we both come from homes where the relationship, her past was with divorce and kind of moving around quite a little bit. And my parents had separated and, you know, were on the brink of divorce, you know, through like kind of like this long kind of chunk of the marriage, or at least it seemed that way, like growing up. It's like this long, like awkward phase of like angst in the house. And so we both were just like, no, we don't want that for our family.
Yeah.
So whatever we got to do, does that mean we got to talk about how angry we are with each other right now?
Yes.
Because I got a lot to discuss. I'm like, great, I got a lot to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Like, let's
Matter
do
of
this.
fact, let's
Right.
get
And
into
so
this.
part of it was therapeutic because we didn't grow up with that, you know, like it was, you know, just a lot of arguing on my end, and with them it was arguing to the point where now it's divorce. And so it's crazy. You definitely can either say, yeah, well, I'm yelling because that's how I grew up and that's what I heard, and dysfunction is normality, or you can go, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and we're gonna change.
You
and we're
don't
gonna
fall victim to it.
Exactly,
Right?
and that's
Yeah.
what me and Tina did. It's like, no, divorce isn't even
I
in the
commend you,
vocabulary.
dude.
It's not even an option. It's just no. Like we have a commitment with each other. We invited God into the commitment as well. We
Which
asked
I
him.
hear is very helpful. as
Right,
well.
we invited him into this, and so it's like, no, this is a Ecclesiastes. This is a 3-vine cord, and we're all involved in this. And so not only our accountabilities are to each other, but it's also to the Word and to God. And so it's like, yeah, there's nothing stronger than that, because as much as we will fall short, we still have to answer to Him. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like that's why we don't mess around. There's no
That's-
messing around at all,
that's
because
so-
we can hurt each other, right? But there's nothing like eternal damnation. So you know what I mean? It's like no. No, it holds
Yeah.
everybody accountable.
100%. And I've heard it, it takes 2 people to get into a relationship, and it takes 3 to keep it. And the third person is
The man himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Let's let's move on.
Yeah, that was great.
Crazy.
Real quick, you got anything to add?
All right, man.
All right,
man.
We're getting into it tonight,
Man,
man.
we are just deep diving
Yeah, we are.
into the relationship realms.
Uh-huh.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say I think that's a good place for maybe rocking into the isms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or did Don want to share?
Or that's another thing. While we were on the break, Don was talking about some super secret, life-changing advice. And yeah, I feel like we should be dropping the advice for the people, man. Don, you wanted to chime in on the whole relationship topic, man.
We'll save that one for another one.
Another one?
Yeah,
Sure,
we'll save that for another pod.
Time.
Nah.
Okay. When you're ready.
He's not ready.
We like to
We'll get you on again, dude. We'll get you on again.
Well, maybe.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
We
We'll see how this pod does. No.
or even we were even talking about just getting like another cam just like in the corner, like on like some cell phone cam like footage. It's all in 4K now.
Yeah.
Get a little microphone set up for you there. If that's something you guys would like to do, that way we can see like Don in real time when we go, hey yo Don, pull that up, or can you look that up?
Yeah.
Put
That'd
it in
be
the
cool.
comment section, man. If it's something you'd like to see Don, a little bit more reactions to get him out of that
Yeah.
shell, that Don shell.
Yeah.
No, the
I
next
agree.
Donatello.
Donatello, dude, keep the shell. That's you. That's you.
the next
Um,
pod I'm on will for sure release some stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Find out a little bit more here and
Yeah.
there.
Man.
He wants to stay a
Yeah.
mystery man. I respect.
I do respect that. Yeah, man. Sometimes less is more, and Don is definitely going
Yeah.
with that mysterious vibe. Keeps us here. So, anyways, man, yeah, the good segue into some isms, man, and I think we all kind of have. I got one that definitely kind of pertains to the relationship vibe that we were kind of talking about.
Go ahead.
doesn't have
Go
to-
ahead. We'll just you go first. I'll go, and then Xander, you got one as well.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just do one each, and then we'll kind of.
Okay, yeah, man. So,
And
while
we'd
you-
love to hear what you have to think about these, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
man, we'll go straight to Don.
Yeah.
For the first analysis of each ism, if you will. And while I am discussing the ism, feel free to go ahead and thumb through the ism files on your phone, see if you all got one. But this does pertain to talking about relationships and things like that, and it's from I didn't write his name down here. It's not Mike Tyson. I thought I had it. His name is Dr. John not Delaney. That's a comedian. Anyways, I'll look it up and then I'll text it to you so we give him the proper shout out. But one of the things that I love watching on YouTube is these psychologists who have people call in and they'll kind of break down relationships and kind of give them advice in within like a 20 to 30 minute span. It's great. One of the things that he says that I think is great that pertains here is he says you have to choose your hard in life. You have to choose your hard. For example, he said, being overweight. Being overweight is hard on your health. Losing weight is hard to achieve. You just have to choose your hard in life. Sometimes you don't get an easy choice.
Yeah.
You just have to choose which hard you want to accomplish.
Yeah. I think I saw that actually. I forget his name too.
So choose your hard. I think that could be applicable in a lot of situations, not just in a relationship.
Yeah.
Definitely applicable in a relationship. But
Yeah.
sometimes, when people go and I see a lot of TikTokers even nowadays talking about like, oh man, like I just got this degree, but I can't find a job. And like, I look like they're ready to cry and I just want to do TikTok all day.
Yeah.
So you got to choose your hard. If you want to do TikTok, 100% do TikTok, but you got to realize that's just another job.
Yeah.
You got to film, you got to edit, you got to do all of that stuff on your own. You have to learn how to do all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's just another job. It's gonna be
Sometimes it's
hard.
harder. Sometimes it's harder
because
you
you
don't
put
have a
all that
boss.
work in it, and you don't have a boss. You put all that work in it. You may not generate clicks and views and all that stuff. And now you're an angry DoorDasher. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even tip me.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my $5?
Right?
Yeah.
Now you up on a Ring camera. You're getting reviewed. Man, I'm saying, like, you don't want that in your life.
All up
You
on
don't-
the Instagram
all up
feed
on
and
the gram
everything.
feed. Yeah, so you don't want that, right? So choose your hard and then realize that you may not have an easy path. You may not have an option that's easy to rely on. Sometimes it's just, these both suck. I'm going to do this one. And just realize this is going to suck.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to walk through the fire, man.
Most definitely.
That's
Like,
100% true, man.
you know what I'm saying?
Completely
So
agree.
choose your hard. That's going to be my ism.
Yeah.
Choose your heart.
What do you think?
I think like whatever you choose, you just gotta stick to it, put your mind to it, and just keep hustling.
Yeah.
And eventually, you're gonna achieve it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much. That's
Kind of like
There
one
you go.
foot in front of the other. Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get there eventually as long as you start taking a step.
no, yeah, most definitely. You're gonna go through a lot of ups and downs, but you will get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of remind. It's like my pops used to always say too. Like if you're just talking about it, like that's just an idea. The moment you actually start writing pen to paper of how you can accomplish that, now you have a plan.
Yeah.
So that's a difference, kind of an ism right there in and of itself.
Yeah,
but like just
double-ism.
talking, just talking about it, you have an idea. Implementing those ideas, now you have a plan. So kind of like Don is saying, one foot in front of another, you're going to achieve it. Stick to the plan. Do what you got to do. Get it done.
Exactly. Completely agree.
Mhm.
You want to go? Or?
What do you think about it?
No, I completely agree. Like I said, like there's only you have to choose your path in life. You know, everything is gonna suck one way or another.
Yeah.
And one, like just for like weight gain, I'll just use that example. One is gonna, end of the road, it's gonna suck. You're gonna be overweight. You can't move as well. You're not as healthy. All these health problems. Then on the other hand, you lose all that weight. You're healthy. Sure, it sucks right now, but later on in life, you're gonna appreciate the fact that you ever did in the first place.
And I think he was saying your life as being like a very morbidly obese or morbidly overweight person is hard too.
Yes.
So it's either you choose that hard lifestyle or you choose to get in the gym every day.
Right.
They're both hard.
Right.
Some it's just hard, like it'll literally decrease your lifespan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
All these organs that are just going over all this stuff. It's like if you're doing stuff that's hard right here, it's hard, but you then become physically hard, mentally hard, right? Mentally tough and stuff like that. I saw that, and that spoke to me too. I think that what it meant is just kind of pick your battles, and even in relationships, there's a bunch of things that are annoying or not, you don't like them, or it's just problematic. You need to choose. You need to go about it methodically. Choose your hard. Choose what is the most worth going through, and what is worth just letting go.
Yeah,
it's above you. You have to accept that from some person. You know what I mean? You can't change anybody.
Yeah.
So, my ism was by Anonymous. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. What do you think about that?
Ooh, vision. Okay, so it's kind of like those that have eyes that look are common. Those that have eyes that see are rare. Kind of a thing. Like, everyone's looking. You can see something, but that. It's almost how do I break this down? Like I like that, but it's almost like hearing versus listening. Right. Like you can hear like people talking, right? But once you actually start listening, like you get a little juicy like clip of like what someone else is saying. Like we all know the cues. Like, and then girl, he said this, and you're like, oh, what did he say? You know what I mean? So that's the point. That's the turn from hearing to listening. And the same thing could be said about looking and viewing. Like a baby can, like they're looking around, right? Like, oh, like check this out. You know what I mean? Look at their hand. Right? But they don't know what they're viewing. Like you see what I'm saying? Like, so those the eyes that look are very common. Meaning you can just look around, but the eyes that see what are really happening, that's rare. So I think that kind of pertains to what you're saying.
Branching off of that, when I first kind of read it and understood it, it's like vision, right? I thought of it more deeply, maybe too deep. Vision is like having a vision in sight, not just literally your vision and what you're seeing right now, but it's what you can see in the future. And I think that some people don't have that. Some people take it so day by day that they are just totally fine and they're stable with their lifestyle right now. But those who have a vision are different from people who don't have that. It's invisible to them. They don't see that. They don't see the grander scheme of what they are able to accomplish or able to pursue. Those who do have that, it's almost like a gift. Some people just don't even have that. It's invisible to them.
Almost
it's not
like
even
being
not even real. Content.
Almost like being proactive opposed to reactive.
There you go.
Like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I have a vision, opposed to I'm living my life according to how do I maneuver around what's being thrown at me. Like now I'm reacting to things opposed to I'm planning my future. I'm charting my own course.
There you go.
What do you think about it?
That's funny because I had a completely different understanding.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
No, I think it's interesting that we can hear one quote and then both completely think different things.
Yeah.
So the way I thought of it was like, Mind reading it one more time because I have it in my head.
Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others.
Okay, yeah. So the way I took it is like, say something on the news, right, is like spouting some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And kind of like what the media does nowadays, just get a whole bunch of sheep to the flock, you know, just like, or another thing, like when someone's jumping at someone to cancel them, like, oh, they did this, blah, 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 versus someone who's like, was actually seeing, like, okay, hold up, maybe there's got to be more to the story, you know? They're
Interesting.
not telling us everything. So
Yeah.
I kind of viewed it as someone who just takes a step back and actually like looks at everything that is going on around them versus just taking what they see at face value.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Don?
That's exactly how I thought of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
actually, that kind of like we're not too far off on that because that's kind of like the definition of like eyes that see versus eyes that look. You can watch the media and go like, oh yeah, man, like yeah, that's they're on a suit and tie and it's in a box that talks on my wall. Like this is official,
Yeah, this
right?
is
Like
real
this
stuff
is
right here.
this is reality, right? And I'm saying this is real.
Yeah.
But then when you look into it, it's like, well, wait a minute, like that was like a 2-second quote of what that person said,
Yeah.
and this report is 10 minutes about how bad like the quote,
Yeah.
this 2-second quote was.
Yeah.
Let me look up what this person actually said.
Let me look at
Yeah.
the actual speech.
Exactly.
Besides this 2 second, what was
Right.
revolving around?
Exactly, and then you look it up, and then
Yeah.
you realize like, oh, okay, no, this is just
Complete
a half,
bullshit.
Yeah, this is a half truth,
Uh-huh.
which is 100% a lie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we on the same page.
Yeah, we thinking.
What do you have? Sam?
Good
All right.
good ism, good
Yeah,
quote.
good.
I liked it.
Donald, I want you go first after this one. We've been kind
have
of
anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, the only reason I want to say this ism is just because I feel like it could also pertain to the relationship discussion we had today. So I told you this the other day, actually.
Okay.
A bird sitting on a branch is never afraid of the branch breaking because the trust lies in its own wings, not the branch. And the way I think that can pertain to a relationship, instead of just a singular bird, that bird is the two people, and y'all relying on each other and your guys' wings to, instead of the branch.
I like that flap you did there, homie.
Yeah.
Just to emphasize your point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
flap on 'em, homie.
Flap the wings. man.
Flap him, bro.
What do you think
Wait.
about that, Don?
Yeah, one more time.
A bird sitting on a branch is never afraid of the branch breaking because the trust lies in its own wings, not the branch.
Shit, that's a good one.
That got me stuck.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I think, I think it just kind of goes with, relying on yourself and being independent and self-reliant. I think you're not worried about all the other BS that's going around in your life because you can handle whatever steps to you, right? If a plan falls through or an idea falls through or something falls through, it's like, okay, yeah. That's fine. It fell through. Even a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it fell through. It's like, okay, but you know what? I still got X, I still got Y, and I still got Z. So I'm going to keep moving abundantly in my life.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I control how I feel, right? And that's, thank you, Ant Woods, man. Shout out Ant Woods.
Yeah.
He's had a soul search for these last couple of weeks.
exactly.
I think it's all about controlling what you can, and not worrying about what you can't control. But when the things that you can't control end up happening to you, what you can't control is flapping your wings and flying, bro. That's, you know what I mean? Yeah,
was
you feel
tough
me?
right there.
That's my homie.
Yeah.
That's my homie.
I'm his homie.
That's my
That's
homie.
my homie.
Donald's
still like,
processing.
Oh my god,
Bro, there's
We'll
like,
cut to like him and we'll just do mathematical equations.
Dude, and you know what's so funny? We're gonna get a random call a week from now and be like, "I got it." he's like, you know
Cut a
what?
bird
Yeah.
and it snap and
Yeah,
it fly.
yeah.
bro,
I
there's so
got it
many.
now.
There's so many different things. Like,
Yeah.
like kind of like what you said. Kind of like, I'm gonna take it into like the business world. Kind of like, okay, so say your business is crashing, you don't have anyone to look back on. You just have yourself. Like, how you gonna pick your business back up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. No, that's exactly what it is.
You are the one flapping your wings. You're the one making the business calls.
Yeah.
You're the one advertising for the business. You're the one driving.
Yeah.
No one's gonna help you, bro.
Because
One deal falls through. What do? Find another one.
yeah, you gotta pick up the phone and keep calling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
you can't just turn around and look for someone and be like, yo, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Like,
Or fall with the branch.
yeah.
You know, metaphorically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I think of a quote, and I'm just going to insert myself as if it's my turn to speak.
It is your
You know, I read this quote on, I forgot what it was, whatever social media, and some lady wrote it. I don't even remember, but like I didn't even write it down. I didn't have time to, but it said a bottle of water can be purchased at the store for like 25 cents.
Okay.
Right.
What economy are you talking about?
If you're just like, okay, a bottle of water, let's say.
But go ahead. I'm
Okay,
sorry, I'm sorry.
$1. Let's say
I
a
had
dollar.
to, I had to.
Bottle of water. Let's say a nice round figure for Ethan. $1.
Yeah.
That same bottle of water at a gym would be like $3.
Yeah.
That same bottle of water in an airplane is $6.
Damn.
What changed? The bottle of water didn't change. The environment changed.
Wow.
So if you are not getting valued, it may not be you. It could be your environment that doesn't
Wow.
realize your value.
That's a good
That's
one.
my
That's
homie.
good.
Right?
Damn. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of it goes to understanding with the bird. My intent, my purpose, my whole purpose, the thing that differentiates me as a species from everything else that God has created is my ability to remain in flight if the things around me are crashing down.
Yeah.
So my intent is to be in flight. Even this is irrelevant. The ground means nothing to something that is meant to be in the air.
Yeah.
The ground is nothing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. And I also kind of think, well, sky's the limit. Let it break. I have the ability to do something that no one else does, which is flight. It doesn't matter if I'm a sparrow or a damn eagle. I can still fly, and y'all are still crawling around, walking on the ground, having a very narrow perspective. So
Wow.
it kind of just goes to show, like, knowing your value, knowing, again, kind of talking about your roles, right? Knowing what you're supposed to be doing in life.
Yeah.
And applying those things, right? You know that you can fly. Okay, so then do it. This is irrelevant. Your ground is irrelevant. You're meant to fly. So
Wow, that's
understanding
so
your value, you know what I mean?
You're only going to fly as far as you want to go.
That's it. Man. That's it.
My God, Donald.
Yeah, man. The knowledge. Just spit it out, bro.
Spit it out.
That's
That was
what we do.
beautifully said, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I would, I'll try and look for who actually said that because when I read that, I was just like, oh, that kind of just made me realize, like, and shouts to all the people out there that are feeling a little bit tense with like their job and money getting stretched thin and all that stuff. Like, hopefully that quote may find you well. You know, maybe you do have a skill that you're, just not giving yourself enough credit on and not realizing how valuable you are. And if you're in a situation, an environment where your job isn't, valuing that, maybe take a look at, some other options or, just realize your value,
Mm-hmm. That was
That's
amazing,
it, man.
man.
Does anyone have anything else to say, or should we
Don.
just leave it out on that?
I'm pretty speechless.
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't got nothing else.
Michael B. himself.
Michael
Michael
B.
B. himself.
We'll talk about, the film industry on the next one.
yeah,
on the
the
next
next
time
one
we
we'll
get
kind of get into you, who you are, you know what I mean, and
Yo, training.
but this is
We'll
just
get into depth for sure.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. We
Right.
kind of put him on blast today. We're like, spotlight, hey, no one's here. This is a perfect time.
Literally
He's like,
as we're setting up.
As we're setting up. So definitely
Shouts
short
to
notice
Don.
for
I
him,
was
like
not
5 minutes
prepared.
short notice.
I'm saying.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. We are loving, providing this content to you. It's honestly just kind of one of our goals that we are so
Yeah.
blessed to be able to present to all of you. So, I mean, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Check out all the links in the description, all of our other videos. We got some pretty cool people on past weeks, man, and great things coming in the near future. So,
That's it.
hope you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and have a wonderful day. Peace.
Later.